now come here for work and give accountability what rural electrification does. I want to start with legal framework. Chairman has ambushed me. I didn't carry my constitution. He had his on the table. He didn't give me enough time to read. But I will read and respond to some of these issues. But what I know, the Constitution mandates Minister of Energy to do a number of things. When I read, I will give him specific responses on his particular issues, and I think we have already agreed that we should meet, and we have set time 3 hours, at least 3 hours, very soon, so that we dissect some of these things. I think you have a very great leader here, based on the knowledge he has, the way he can engage. I really have appreciated it. It was my first time to meet him here in the morning. Normally when you meet somebody, you can say this one, maybe half, but this one, 100%. So I want to start on the legal framework. Rural electrification is based on Electricity Act 1999, and there is a particular section, Part 5, spells out how rural electrification should be done in Uganda, and the Clause 62 provides that Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development should do a number of things on rural electrification, and then it goes on how to establish the fund, how, equity, if you are giving electricity to people, it should not be one district electrified. Everybody should be electrified. All that is spelled there. So based on that one, we came up with the energy policy, we came up with the electricity connections policy, and this one I want to give you a few highlights of this electricity connections policy. First of all, it has about 4 key things that I want to comment on. One, it says, we know our people cannot afford the cost of connections. Can we provide free connections? So when you see us coming up with projects, CSP scale-up will present of free connections, it comes from this policy of free connections. 2, we know that there are people who will not wait for government. I want a connection in 2 days, 3 days. It allows self-financing connections. If you urgently need a connection, we allow you, you go to and pay to the distribution company, they come and connect you. 3, it allows for rebate. Rebate means I am an SME, I am an industrialist, I need electricity. An example you give is Wagagai. That line you see, they put it themselves. You come to the regulator, electricity regulatory authority, you say, I want to use this policy. How does it work? The rebate policy. Rebate policy, you put in money up front. As you start consuming, if your bill is 100 shillings, we pay you back like 20. Over time, you recover back your money that you have put in either in a line, it is not my line, in a line that you have built. Those are 3 key principles that we carry in this. Of course, there are many, but for our benefit here. We also have electricity, national electrification strategy. How do we make sure that everybody achieves universal access by 2030? So it has a number of key issues or a number of policies. One is that we are recognizing that we can connect you on grid, hydro from Jinja, Karuma, or if you are very far and it is not economical, you can use off-grid solar system. If we are getting light from solar, we also recognize it as energy, as electricity. And as I speak, even when you go to Japan, you'll find they have factory-rich areas where they are still using solar, because that's what is feasible. So that's the legal framework that we are operating on, and that I can bring it up for the benefit of Busia, so that when you're asking questions, then we are relating to the legal framework. That's part one. Part two is on what is the status of rural electrification? Where are we? Where electrification in general? You will note that over years, I think I should give you some statistics. In 2005, we had about 6,400 kilometers of distribution lines. These medium voltage lines and the low voltage lines. In 2005, we said no, we should do more. In 2015, we improved. We are at 16,400. We moved. As I speak now, we are over 90,000 kilometers of grid extension, medium voltage and high voltage. You can imagine in the last 10 years what we have covered. We have covered a lot. So what have we achieved? We have pulled wires. If you stand at your home and you don't see wires, then there is an issue. Although I know there are some areas where there are no wires. So in the bush, I don't think that one can happen. If you stand where your house is, you are supposed to at least to see in a distance where the grid is. And that one has created pressure. Because now people see electrification is reality. Power is very close. I will come back to that. Still continuing with the status. The other one is that we are about 10.6 households in Uganda. As we speak, we have connected about 2.8 million households. That means our own grid access is about 24%. Although the wires are there, people are seeing them, we still have a journey to make. And I think for us, that's an opportunity. And then we have about 38% of our population, of our households, or off grid. So that one takes us up to about 62% of access in Uganda. But we are saying we must reach universal access by 2030, both on grid and off grid. We should be 50-50. On grid 50, off grid 50. And as it presents, as we finish the SCALA project, on grid we should do about 34-35% of on-grid connections, and it will tell us how we can benefit. The other status we should know is that all of the home state of public institutions is government. So as we connect people action, I'll still come back to that later. I think as I was discussing with the chair, and from what he was asking, was like, but why can't you allow, Bushi and we become now a distribution company or a contractor, and we extend these lines and it is quick, but we'll come and break down how we can achieve that one. So, if I need electricity in an area, how can I get this electricity? How can I make sure this electricity reaches me? Whom do I talk to? I think I want to address that. It's a key information that I should leave behind. what approach as government do we use with all these policies that I have explained? There are two approaches. You can privately, after extend power to your area, that's one, you ask me how. Two, you can wait for government. Through our projects, and I will elaborate later which projects we have, where, and I also leave some documentation behind, and I also take your requests. So government, we have a plan that we follow to make sure we cover the entire country. And the Electricity Act says it should be equitable, not to give power to only one district or one region. I think this vision was said. So as we plan, we put it in our mind as we move. And that's why we have specific approach. For instance, as we are starting to say, let's first connect all district headquarters. We connected all district headquarters apart from Obonji in West Nile, and I think Karenga in Morocco, the shifted offices in Karamoja and Buvuma. Those three. But we have plans around for this way. The second approach was that let's connect all sub-counties, because we are looking at equitable distribution of power. If you have 36 sub-counties and I have connected you, the other one has 20, I have connected you, at least I have a streamlined approach. And as I speak, we are left with slightly over 400 sub-counties that we have not connected. I don't think we have any. Sub-counties and county councils, they are combined. Most sub-councils are at the level of sub-counties. But if we have here in Busia, we already have a project to address that. And I will explain further. And as we interact, let me know. So that as I also supervise my team, I say, no, you have told me all district sub-counties in Busia. But when I was there, they told me 10. So did you do the work properly? That one also will help me as I interact with you. So, from the sub-counties, we are saying, can we at least have a transformer at each parish when we fix the sub-county? That's the focus that we will have. Now there, it depends on what the budget of government and the pocket of government is. Because the parishes have so many. And I think we still have a number of parishes where we don't have at least a pole. They can see poles passing somewhere, but they don't have a pole and where to get electricity. So that's the approach. And where you find that there are some areas which are isolated, like our islands, then we use mini grids. Mini grids, but also with the capacity to connect on the grid when the grid arrives. When we're installing those mini grids, we give them those capability. When the grid arrives, you just plug and play. So that's the approach we take as public investment. But I have a factory, a community can say we want electricity here, I think you have paid us, and you have your money. You go to UEDCL and apply. They will give you a contractor. If they can allow you a contractor, well and good, and you can do that line. An example, I think, is Wagaga. They use their own contractor. Paid up front, will pay them back later. But remember, when you do any installation, transformer, grid extension, once the distribution company comes and commissions, the investment goes to government. Because you can't manage it. You don't want to put at risk electricity is fire. You make a mistake, you lose your life, or you cause a entire blackout for the country. Because electricity has trace where it came from. When you make a mistake here, it traces back at Jinja where it came from. And it can cause havoc there in that direction. I'm told that you this has already funded by the guy, so you can see that mechanism works very well. Put and press the line, they have got back their money. So that rebate system is very good. You shouldn't die with your SMEs. If you can be able to pay money up front and then UDC through the tariff, through the energy you buy, they fund your money. So I was still this public private investments in the network. That power where it comes from, we can't forget its past. If you make a mistake here, it has to trace where it is coming from. So if you don't cause a problem where you have tampered, then the problem might go backwards and it can destroy and put the other people at risk, or whatever is in storage on the other side where it is coming from at risk. So that's why government says you can put the investment, benefit, because you had the purpose used for electricity for, but the investment, the network comes back to government to operate and maintain. But also, if I lost a pole, if you lost a pole on that network, and they tell you to replace it now, you may not manage. So what's the capacity to manage? It is back to the distribution company. That transformer you have put, if it fails, like now it's okay, the transformer has failed, the community should raise 20 million, 30 million to put back that transformer. It will take 5 years. So who manages the risk better is the utility. I think that's the understanding why the law was made like that. I want to come back on connections because there is good extension on connections. If I want a connection, what do I do? First of all, you wait for government free connection and they will give us details. How these free connections are done, where do you apply, how long can you wait, how much can I pay, and ABCD. If somebody is a fraudster, how do I know? Not somebody called me yesterday, somebody put holes on a pickup and started driving. 6 million I will give you a pole. 6 million. They called me. But did you apply for electricity? He says no. The person who called you says no. Then how when you buy and they give you a pole, where will you get meter from? Without an application. Without somebody coming to inspect your premises, okay, your house is ready to receive electricity. Where will you get the meter from? Don't you see that one is a chukuri? Arrest. I hope they arrested that person. He has not called me back. So we have such people who are very clever. I hope they are not here in Busia. I'm told they are there. Arrest them. After we have educated here, how we get a free connection, please arrest them. And as I have already said, self-financing. We can't hold that ransom if we delay or we don't have funds to come and connect you immediately. That's why we revised the electricity connections policy to add a component that if you were in a hurry, pay to the distribution company, which UEDC represented here, they should connect you in 7 days. Is it 7 days? 7? Yes. In 7 days they should connect you. At times they can even take 3, 4. If you have paid your money, this is the band for that. And then the rebate, that one I have talked about, we will put in place for electrification. This project should be very helpful. We are planning to stage, we are undertaking the technical study, and my team should have been here to do that technical study. I have not checked in the register there to see if they signed and they passed here, but I think they should have done so. If they did it, they are hearing. Next time they come, they should say hello, and we plan together. And we plan together. So it is a very key project. Let's follow up and we see how we get good use of this project. I am sure if I have a chance to come back here next year, I should be having good news on this project. It's a very big project. And then we have a specific project for looking at small and medium enterprises. We are financed by the government of Uganda. So the volume of work I do depends on the budget I get from this for finance. If we have some facilities here that are quick to connect, that are near the grid, like 300 meters, 500 meters, this is a key project that can help us put away those ones as big projects which are not funded are coming to address those schemes or assemblies which are far away from the grid. So those are the planned projects that we are developing. Definitely we are not seated, we have to plan more. We need continuity. As we finish one project, we should have another project that should succeed whatever we'll be implementing. As I try to close, I want to address one or two things. One is that how do we work with local governments, especially like Busia? Chairman Wah says he wants to build a distribution company and start construction, but I think that one will come later. Even that model I have not found it anywhere in the world, because it is fire, safety of people, quality of work, but also judicial issues for you to pull resources from development partners, but also coordination if you are to connect 140 something districts. As a development partner, you have a problem also. But with those 3 hours, we will discuss and we will reach somewhere, I know. But for now, let's go with the model that we have. I think the Constitution allows me, I know there are my sections there, but I didn't have time to read so that I can address that issue directly. We should work together in a number of areas. One is planning. When we come in the district, you are the beneficiaries. We should pick your priorities. And I will urge my team that every time we are doing a feasibility study, have a call at the district, have a call at the CAO, LC5 chairperson, the MPs, so that we plan together. Because these people know where their priorities are. And Chairman, if you have not done that one, forgive us, we should start immediately. If we have not done it, my team is listening. The other one is that the implementation. Number of mode of delivery, we procure contractors and contractors do the construction. We should introduce these contractors to the districts. These contractors should know the culture of the district. We should involve in the district as we go into the public. The contractor goes into the public. The district should be aware, so that we implement together, so that we are able to acquire the corridors. I think our biggest problem as we implement these projects is where those corridors should stand. I think we have a high acceptability of the project when actually we have worked with the people who benefit. That one I had already agreed with my team there. There is no question. If we have not implemented that, then that's another matter that we can follow up. The other issue I wanted to address, I have seen government, we get funds from different places, we put different infrastructure. I will give an example. The district here, you build the hospital. electricity, you just need 2 poles. Why don't you put that money in the project so that our World Bank, as World Bank lives? You have applied to you this year, they have given you 2 poles on the money which World Bank has provided in the project. I think we have an issue on how we plan for these projects. Normally when it is a health center, the Minister of Health will say, okay, we'll put buildings. These days I hear they don't put toilets, I don't know why. We put this, then you forget that actually you will not operate when you don't have electricity. When that electricity is just 2 poles away from you, really would that project have failed to provide additional resources for minimum for 2 poles? Recently, I think Minister of Justice built a court in Cambridge, and they wrote to me, we are commissioning next week on this date, we need electricity. I said, how was the project financed? They said the donor was so. I said, why couldn't they put 2 poles for you to have electricity this year? Because as a ministry, we don't have a distribution company. For distribution company to give you 2 poles, they need money. Money must come from somewhere. So, these projects, where power is in the vicinity, where you don't need a line 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, 10 kilometers, where you put that money in the project? It's very surprising when the project is going to fund it, and you find you don't have electricity, which is 2 poles away, well far away. Then that one becomes a problem, becomes a planning issue. 197 SMEs, all financed by development partners, constructed, commissioned, they're telling me give me electricity. I need a project of $50 million to extend electricity to these SMEs. When will they start operating? You know, it becomes a problem. So, with that, I want to add, I think address specific issues, maybe which chairman raised, and I could not cover in my speech here. One is fraudsters. Yes, they are there. For instance, now this year when we are connecting free connections, you pay 3,600 shillings only for inspection. They will also ask you to pay about 6,400 for your initial power that comes on the meter. That brings it to about 30,000. But I understand there are individuals who go telling people, give me 100, I will connect you. At times when they come and connect you and they have not asked when before they have come, when they come to commission the meter, they say, okay, without 50,000, you will not commission. And they actually leave and go. Say, when you raise it, call me. But I think the manager who is in charge here, you can work on that. People normally call me from all over the country. That issue has been there. I don't know if it has stopped or it has been there. But tell our people that if you apply for a new connection and we are giving you a new connection, you are paying 23,600. To come and inspect your premises, to make sure your wiring has been done well, to make sure that when lightning comes and puts more electrons in the network, you don't burn your house. That's the purpose. We ask you for 6,400 so that we give you the initial units, because when we give you a meter, you say the meter is not working. We need to bring it with some units so that it is operating. Outside that one is a fraudster. And we do this one for no pole connection. The pole is in your compound. You don't need a pole. Or you need one pole. Those 2 types of connections in the area electricity connections policy, they are supposed to be free when we have resources. District is not consulted. That one I think I have already spoken about it. Fulfilled projects, this one will share, and I understand. Solar generation, this one is a topic where we need to sit and really discuss, because we have also some other activities that we are already explained to you that we need to sit and harmonize. For instance, we want to establish an energy skills development center that will generate enough people who can climb poles, we generate a number of people who can build towers for electricity. We have people who can construct solar plants. We don't import people from all over the country. When actually here we are saying, oh, you have no jobs. We want to skill them in that area. And I think we are looking at this solar plant as one of the resources to provide funds for this. That one we need to discuss, and I know we are agree. Already when we talked to you briefly, I could see we are brothers. Our DNA is close. Okay? So with that, I want to thank you and feel free to ask any question. We are able to respond, and I think that's why we are here. And I think it also takes a while also to see a commissioner in Lucia.